Hello! Hi! It is I, Serendipity Wyrd, finally recording a video. That's kind of a lie. I just recorded a video not that long ago, but I didn't do anything with it. It's still sitting on my hard drive. I actually record a lot of videos that I do that with. However, that needs to change because it's a new moon. I don't know. That's part of it. I did a whole ritual at the beach yesterday, and I did a whole dissolving my fears kind of thing in conjunction with all based on this reading I did. So I did this reading and it was like, hey, stop hiding. Stop not doing the things you want to do. And I was like, fair. So here I am. I went live on Instagram today. The video is probably really terrible because the bugs were super loud and the internet live streaming is not great for my current internet setup. So yeah, but I did it because that's what I'm trying to do right now, is do the things regardless of if they're pristine and polished or whatever. We're just gonna create, I don't know, some garbage content. Maybe it's good, I don't know, but I've got to stop overthinking things. And I've also got to stop being afraid to tell y'all what kind of things I do and how I can help you and what sort of services I offer. So that's a thing. It's probably going to be super obnoxious because this new moon cycle, as part of that reading, was like, okay, fine. I will find a way to tell people every day, Monday through Friday, what kind of things I do. And I'm like, that sounds really terrifying and really uncomfortable. But I bet after I do that for an entire moon cycle, I'll probably feel pretty comfortable about it. Maybe. Because, this is the thing, right? Any skill, whether that's the skill of self-promotion, whether that's the skill of knitting, whether that's the skill of divination, whether that's the skill of some other esoteric, magical sort of practice, whether that's the skill of hula hooping or dancing or yoga or skateboarding or other things that I don't do. I don't skateboard, but most everything else I listed are things I do. Whatever that skill is though, drawing, right? Anything artsy, cooking food, raising a child, everything, all of these things are skills. And the more we do them, the sort of better we get at them, right? Sometimes maybe some of these skills are things that we will super excel at and will become awesome at them. And some of these are just skills that we'll be okay. We'll be passable. We won't completely be terrible at forever. So this moon cycle, I am practicing talking about the things that I do and the services that I offer. And as part of that, I want to offer some sort of discounted situations because I want to play. I don't know. I think I project this image that is, oh, I have a thriving business and all of this stuff. I've kind of tried to, do that thing they kind of tell you, fake it till you make it kind of thing. I don't know. Or maybe it's just I make custom graphics for a lot of stuff because I enjoy that kind of thing. I don't know. But I feel like I project a sort of disconnected version of what I'm actually doing over here in my business. And I don't know. Maybe that's just my imposter syndrome thing. I don't freaking know. Whatever. The point here is the reason I'm even babbling about that. And then you can see how uncomfortable I got about babbling about that, right? Because I'm let's topic change. Let's not talk about that thing. But the whole reason I babbled into that territory is because I really want to work more one-on-one with people in between events and festivals and things. When I'm in physically in front of people, it becomes very easy for me to create that space for interactions and for I can set up a fancy tent and all that. While I'm at home on the in-betweens, I'm not so good about talking about my business and that there's a thing and that you can work with me. So we're practicing this. And if this isn't relevant to you in terms of like businessy stuff, that's cool. Like insert other skill that you need to practice maybe. And maybe some of what I'm rambling about will resonate with you from, you know, a different sort of perspective on a skill. So anyway, so I'm practicing that. And as part of that, I've decided that I'm going to make an effort to book some sessions for a thing I want to experiment with, like for a process that I really like, one of those things that's really close, like near and dear to my, like, this is why you do this work, this is what you're supposed to be doing kind of thing. And that is a thing I'm calling magical movement sessions. And these magical movement sessions are definitely yoga inspired, right? I'm a certified yoga instructor. So I have a basis in yoga, like all that kind of good stuff that informs all of this. I'm also a person who has moved their own body in some way or shape or form in a magical sort of context, in a spiritual experience, in a sacred manner throughout my life, even when I wasn't like, you know, necessarily going by the term witch or anything. Dancing, just expression through movement has always been really, really important to me. And it's something I've spent a lot of time figuring out how to do in this particular body, with all of its fun challenges of, you know, being a larger body, being a body with injuries and all that kind of fun stuff. And the more that I've kind of come around to like, what, you know, why do I feel that deity in my guides or what have you are pushing me into, you know, a service-based sort of situation? Like, what is it that I'm actually supposed to be doing here? Because there's a million kind of things that I could fall into, right? And there's a million kind of things that other people have done. But like, what am I supposed to be doing? And the magical movement thing comes back again and again because so many of us struggle with body acceptance. I mean, I struggle with body acceptance and body positivity and self-love and caring for, you know, this vessel that I'm in, regardless of what it looks like and what it's able to do. And I feel really, really, really passionate, as you might be able to tell, about this sort of topic. So I decided if I'm going to push myself to be uncomfortable and talk about, you know, what sort of things I offer and ask people, that's really what it is about. Ask people to book sessions with me. Let's do something I'm really, really, like, I really want to do, right? I mean, everything I offer is something I really want to do, but this is like a thing that I've been super nervous around. Because it's sharing so much of my own personal process, my own personal practice, you know, all of that. It also ties into my own issues, like I said, around body acceptance and all of that. Like, as a, you know, chunky person, like, how can I teach movement? But I can, and I do. And I think I have a different perspective that could be really helpful, especially to people with, you know, like non-traditional dancer bodies, non-traditional yoga bodies, that kind of thing, right? Like, if you're feel that you have some limitations to your ability or movement, if you feel like you're in a bigger body and you're not really sure how to work with it, I've spent a lot of time figuring out ways around that. A lot of research, a lot of, you know, classes and study, and then just existing in my own body. So that's a thing we're doing now. We're doing magical movement sessions, and for a limited time, I don't know how long that is. I don't know. We'll see. I am discounting my normal like hour session rate down to $33 to book one of these sessions with me, because I want it to be accessible to people. I want to be able to have fun. Like, this is like going on a play date with your own body, right? We're going to talk about what you want. Why do you want a magical movement practice? Okay. Why? That's like a good place to start. We're going to talk about the things that you feel like your body is comfortable doing, the things that your body is maybe less comfortable doing. Do you have any injuries that prevent certain movements? You know, helping you to get to know your body. And the idea is that, and we'll do a little bit of magical movement play within the session as well, so you can start to get a feel for some of these things. and give you some tools to leave with, give you maybe even a practice to engage with whenever you so desire. I am super excited about this. Super excited. So if that is something that you feel like you might be interested in, check the description below. I will include some way to contact me so we can talk about this. I don't even have this built into the website yet as really an option. I mean, there is an option to... No, it's not really built into the website. I'm going to work on that maybe now. But I also, there's always a million other... I'm very easily distracted. So I wanted to fulfill my, monthly task thing that I'm doing, right? This month's personal work for myself, by making this offer and putting it out there. And there will be ways to contact me. So if it's something you're interested in, feel free to contact me. Like I said, there's going to be a limited number of these. I think I'm going to stick to 10. I'll probably revise that up to 13 sessions, because that's a better number, at the discounted rate, so that, I can hopefully serve some people who may, maybe it would be a financial difficulty to work with me. Otherwise, I always like to work with you on finances, because I don't want things to be inaccessible to people who need or want spiritual practices. But also I'm a person who, needs to earn their own income and have a viable business. So it's been a struggle in that regard to figure out the place of that. And there's this whole cultural thing around not talking about money, right? So I don't know, maybe I'm just going to rebel against that and say, F it, whatever. But for now, what we're doing is magical movement sessions. So expect to hear more about that. Expect, hopefully, more videos from this channel this month, other than tiny walks. I really liked doing tiny walks. I don't know why I kind of stopped them. I have one recorded that I thought was really great, where I rambled about, I liked it. I enjoyed the walk. I enjoyed whatever it was that I rambled about. But if I don't immediately get that kind of thing up on the channel, it will just rot in my phone forever. So I don't know, maybe we'll do a tiny walk at some point this month. I was thinking about taking that to maybe a weekly thing. Then right before I went to Mystic South, which was recent, I fell and messed up my ankle. And now my other foot, that's not even being a problem now, but now my other foot's being a problem. So that walking is a struggle currently. But that doesn't mean that I can't have some magical movement in my life, which I am practicing, right? That's what I'm practicing. And it can be really simple. Magical movement does not have to be... I think in my IG live today, which was super awful, which is why I decided to just come here and record a thing. Also, because I briefly checked it and was yeah, you're totally goofy. But I'm going to leave it there, because you know what? Let's just leave our failures up for the world to see, because we are imperfect creatures. Anyway, one thing I think I was rambling about is how difficult it can be to do a practice sometimes, because especially in the movement world, right? Say you want to get into yoga and you want to take a yoga class. Well, at a studio, a yoga class is probably going to be at least 60 minutes, which is a really good time frame. You can get full sort of space within all the different aspects of the body. There's a reason that's the sort of time frame container. But sometimes our time is limited, and then we end up not pursuing a magical movement practice, whether that be yoga, dance, whatever, because it just feels like we don't have the time, right? We don't have the time to go do that class. So that is one of the other things I want to break our thought process around with these sessions, is that, we can have 5 minutes of magical movement. We can have an hour if that's available, but that there are options, that it's not, there are more ways to bring movement into ourselves and into our bodies than, sort of this structured thing. I'm all about breaking structures, apparently. So yay, let's tear down the structures. Obviously, if you're trying to do a specific traditional practice, there's going to be more structure that needs to be there. If you're studying a certain belly dance art, or a certain yoga practice, then yes, having that structure, having that practice defined in the way that it typically is defined is really important, because that's part of the whole tradition. It's part of that practice. But I am here to help you just engage with your body. This isn't about any specific traditional outlook. This is about coming to connect with your body, to feel connected to your body, especially if you struggle with what your body looks like, what it can do, all that kind of stuff. I am here to help you reconnect, to feel better about being the consciousness that is residing in the meat suit you're residing in, because it's the meat suit you have, right? I feel really passionate about that. I have not always been in love with my meat suit, but it's the one I have, and I would rather continue this existence than to not have this meat suit. So at some point, circa 2009, I decided I needed to start figuring out how to be comfortable in this meat suit. And this has been a long, sort of journey of, what is that, like 13 years? I don't know. But of coming to the point where I'm like, oh, now this is something I'm ready to share with other people. So yes, look for info down below on how to connect with me on this. If you want to be one of the lucky 13 people who gets the discounted rate and books one of these sessions with me and helps me kind of pinpoint and figure out how these sessions go, that would be really great. I look forward to that. And if you just were here and you chose to watch this video when you could have done any other thing or listen to this video, thank you very much for spending your time with me. On that note, this is only like a 16-minute video. I've not rambled for an hour. Yay, go me. So lots of love to you. Mwah! Bye, and I hope to see you soon.